Hi there, this is Nova. Welcome to the tip of the month for January 2016, and Happy New Year. I'd like to visit with you for our tip this month about the Singer Featherweight 221 motor. I've had multiple calls and emails this month, in the past month, about people having difficulty with their Featherweight 221 motor. They step on the foot controller and the motor doesn't go. It doesn't pull the machine. Nothing happens when they step on the foot controller. Several of the people who have contacted me believe that this is a problem with the foot controller, and so they have asked me to service their foot controller for them. That is not a problem with the foot controller most of the time. Most of the time, this is a classic symptom of carbon soot built up within the Singer Featherweight 221 motor. This is a natural consequence of the carbon brushes inside the motor rubbing against a copper armature. Now, that can be heightened and intensified by improper lubrication of the motor. No lubrication or improper lubrication of the Singer Featherweight 221 motor will cause the carbon soot to build up much faster and damage the motor. There are two places that need lubrication. One is the port here, port, shaft, well. Those are all interchangeable terms for where the lubricant is applied. One is here by the belt. We're looking at the back side of the motor. So you see this lubricant port here. The other is on the back side of the motor down here. Both of those need to be kept full of motor lubricant. The only motor lubricant that I ever recommend that you use is mine. I spent multiple years working with a chemist in a private lab in the process of research and testing and retesting to determine the correct lubricant for the motor of the Singer Featherweight 221. The lubricant that I have on the market is an excellent lubricant. It is very high quality. It does have the proper melting point to take care of your Singer Featherweight motor. Now, what to do when you have this problem though, because eventually, again, it's a natural process with a carbon motor brush rubbing against the copper armature of the machine, there's going to be carbon soot buildup. That carbon soot eventually will cause the motor to hesitate when you push on the foot controller and nothing happens, and then you can reach up and touch the hand wheel and reposition the hand wheel. What you're actually doing is you're repositioning where the carbon brush is making contact with the copper armature on the inside. When you do that, you're repositioning where that soot buildup is touching and where it's in the way. So what to do when this problem occurs? I've had several people who've asked me in the last month to service their foot controller, again thinking that was the problem. I'm more than happy to service your foot controller for you, but that won't solve the problem of the motor hesitating. That's inside the motor is where that problem is coming from. I've had a couple of people in the past month who have discarded their machines because they thought there was no hope for this problem. Please don't do that. I want to help you protect and preserve your machines well into the future. These little motors can be cleaned. They are unlike sealed motors. Our modern motors are all sealed and nothing can be done to the inside of them. But these little motors can be cleaned. That carbon soot can be removed from the inside of that motor. Now, that's not a job that I recommend that you tackle on your own. It's a time-consuming, intensive process. For a while, I had ceased servicing motors for the general public because I wasn't real pleased with the technique, the generally accepted technique. I wasn't real pleased with the harsh chemicals that I was using to have to do that. So I spent some time during the last year. I've done an intensive research again on developing a better technique for cleaning the interior of the motor, removing the carbon soot, and I'm thrilled with the results that I have gotten from that process. So if you're having this difficulty and your motor is hesitating and you can't get it to go when you step on the foot controller, please contact me. I'd be more than happy to help you get this motor back in good serviceable condition. Now, there are a couple of instances where the motor can't be helped. I've had several motors in the last 2 months that were brought to me that someone had filled these ports with sewing machine oil, and then the motor was smoking. If your motor is smoking, please stop using it. If there's a fire inside the motor, then it's going to burn the wiring inside the motor and the motor cannot be restored. So if your sewing machine motor, if your Singer Featherweight motor is smoking, that is a classic symptom that it has been filled with sewing machine oil. Please stop using it and get it to me so that I can help you take care of it. If it's just sewing machine oil that's put in there, the motor can still be restored as long as there's not been a fire in there. If Vaseline has been put inside these ports, then there is no way to get all of that out of the motor and restore the motor. I've tried numerous times and it just simply doesn't work. Even in the original manuals, the engineers who designed these machines caution the owners, do not put Vaseline in these motors. It is not the correct lubricant. I think they did that, they mentioned that because it looks so similar to the correct lubricant that they developed, and also it does look similar to what I've developed, but it is definitely not the same thing. Vaseline is death to your Singer Featherweight motor. Please don't use it. Please only use the proper lubricant and do it on a regular basis to protect your Singer Featherweight motor. So if you need help with this, please contact me. I'm more than happy to help you get your motor reconditioned and back in service. I'm very, very pleased now with the techniques that I've developed for taking care of that motor. As we go into 2016, I just want to remind you that I'm committed to quality service. I personally service your machine when you send it to me. I don't let anyone else touch your machine. I take care of it myself. And so I'm committed to quality service for your machine and parts for your machine. I treat my customers like I'd like to be treated. I also want to make sure that you understand that I'm committed to providing you quality products, getting them to you in a timely manner, and being fair in my shipping charges. Right now, unfortunately, the shipping calculator that is running on my website doesn't have many options for me to set so that shipping costs come out in a decent manner. Therefore, I don't collect any of your money for shipping until I've actually weighed your package, know exactly what the shipping is going to cost, and I adjust the charges, and then I collect your money. So you can be assured that I'm not going to overcharge you, nor am I going to do a bait and switch telling you that you have free shipping and then, well, if you actually want it in a timely manner, it's going to cost you much more to get it there. I try to treat you like I would like to be treated, like I appreciate being treated when I'm a consumer. And again, my goal behind everything that I do is I love these little machines and I want to keep them sewing for generations to come. I'm excited. I've got a couple stories to share with you within the coming new year. I've serviced 2 machines recently that have crossed 5 generations in their families. So I'm looking forward to receiving photographs from those families of great-grandmothers and now granddaughters sewing with these lovely machines. I hope you have a very happy and prosperous new year, and I hope you have much happy stitching throughout 2016.